Welcome to Elite Expert Insider Podcast, where we will inspire, motivate, and educate entrepreneurs, innovators, and growth seekers. Brought to you by Elite Online Publishing, making the best and brightest in the industry #1 best-selling authors. 80% of people say they want to write a book. We're assuming that's the same for you. If so, contact us at www.eliteonlinepublishing.com and make your book a reality. Hey, it's Melanie Johnson along with Jen Foster. How you doing, Jen?
Awesome.
Hey, did you ever wonder how to get more clients and get more money for your business? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. But first, I want to make sure that you hit the subscribe button and share this podcast with your friends, because we always have amazing guests like we do today. We have Mario Fachini, best-selling author, and he's going to tell us about his books. But most importantly, he's going to tell us how to get more clients and get more money. Now, I said that he's a best-selling author, and we learned publishing together with Mario, but if you're thinking about publishing a book, please contact us at Elite Online Publishing, and we will make you a #1 best-selling author. So contact us, just go to our website and hit that submission button. We would love to hear from you. Mario Fachini, one of my favorite guys from my hometown, Michigan. How are you doing?
It's a great day to be alive, Melanie. Hey, Jen, how are you?
Doing awesome. Thanks for being here, Mario. Why don't you start us off with telling us a little bit about yourself and where you came from, what you've been doing?
Well, the pleasure is mine. Always great to see you both and love sharing with your audience. As Melanie was saying, I am from the great state of Detroit, Michigan, and I grew up here. I love boating. I love my family, friends, and I would say Midwest is one of the reasons Melanie and I connected, because we were talking about that, and she has some great boys I've met a couple of times, and you know what, and same thing with you, Jen. I like people that are family oriented, that appreciate people, because throughout business that I find that's not always the case, and there's no reason you can't be successful and have good family values and, continue that legacy and tradition on. So appreciate you both for that. And Michigan's a great state, but glad to be here.
Well, I am so glad that you came, and we've had some good memories with playing games with my boys, and we've played Monopoly. You're fierce. And what's the other one that we play?
Cash flow.
Cash flow, yeah, that's the other one. And Mario taught us the ropes of that. He is fierce. So now when my boys play someone else, they always beat them out because they use Mario's skills. So I just want, and tactics. And speaking of Mario's skills and tactics, so one of the things he is best known for with his clients is how to find more clients for your business. So walk us through a little bit. Let's say I have a business, I'm trying to get more revenue in, I'm trying to get more clients, close more deals. What are some of the basics that you start with to teach them?
Honestly, pen and paper, and a calculator. So many people think, I need these cameras, I need these lights, I need this Facebook, I need this, that, the other thing. And you could sit here and drone on for months and months and years, and a lot of people do. And that's why they're not where they want to be. I'm like, okay, what's your problem? Where do you want to be? And you can just map it out with a pen and paper. I'm here now. I want to be here. Great. What does that look like? And it always comes down to, how many clients do you have? What are you charging? How do you serve them? Is it recurring? Because that's a big thing. If someone says, I want to do 100,000 in revenue this year versus $1 million, it could be the same 10 clients, but the difference is, are they on retainer monthly, or do you have to keep getting new ones every month? Mm-hmm. I mean, that one little shift literally changes your whole business model and profitability. And the other thing is the margins. I was talking with clients yesterday, have one game plan for one for another, and they're two totally different, but they're very similar, because we both went over the profit margins, and it was, if we reduce this here and increase that here, it's like a 3 to 4 fold. It's not just a little incremental. So when you stack the deck with it, that's where the fun comes in, because they're not monumental things, and you can usually do them within a couple of weeks to maybe a month for a quick jump start and going, oh my gosh, I haven't done this in 5 years. Another thing I like to tell people is how they're showcased. I'm working with the positioning of everyone I'm working with in my private group, my 8-week class, or with my private clients. And every single one, it's like they're rock stars. They know their content. They're the best at what they do. but does the world see you that way? There's the outside perception, which everyone watching now has an outside perception of each one of us, and the internal reality, which is, yeah, we might be rock stars, look at us, blah, 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 whatever, or we could be sitting here with Post-its all over the place looking like we're stalking someone and everything behind the scenes is a mess. And I find that with most companies, it's somewhere in between. It's not quite either of those extremes, but it's something in between going, wow, your business looks like it's doing great. But then I talk to the CEO and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, what's going on? Oh, we just got so many orders in. Was that a good thing? Well, not if you have a house of cards and it's going to cripple the more you grow it.
Right. I love that you said just get a pen and paper and do the numbers, because a lot of times it really is thinking about that reoccurring revenue, or if you do have to keep on going getting new clients, well, what's another service you can add to something you're already doing and charge more? Then you don't need 100 clients, you only need 20 or whatever it is, right? I love that you just put that down to paper and talk that through and brainstorm. That's amazing.
Yeah, very often it comes down to the psychology, not the technology. And I'm looking over right there at the printer, and I got to be honest, I got pens in the drawer right here. Just reach on over, and 15, 20 minutes later, I always have a solution for people.
Yeah. And, Mario and I kind of have a monthly or bi-monthly personal one-on-one mastermind with each other that we kind of go, hey, what's up? How's the business going? And one of the things you even helped us with was like, you said, well, what are you charging? What are your services? And it was like, what are your expenses? We were starting to talk about expenses. And you're like, hey, you're paying way too much for your charge card person. So we changed that out, and that alone, that little shift puts more money in the bank. And so it's going through those expenses as well as the other part. Let's talk about the positioning a little bit. So how does someone start from scratch, or even if their business has been up for a while, and I know people get kind of lackadaisical, how do they start to really position themselves in the marketplace?
So here's the thing. You can literally take anyone and make them look good. Okay? There could be someone right now that has nothing, whether they have an idea, it's good or bad, morally correct or not. You can make anyone look good. Just look at politics. Whether you're on side A or B, everyone reveres both of whoever, and the other half doesn't. But the reality is they're both positioned pretty well. They have all the quote unquote marketing. They have the flyers. They have all that crap. My personal rule is I'm not going to enhance anyone's image that doesn't deserve it or isn't doing it truthfully. So you could be scamming people and go, okay, I'm going to do a rebranding and repositioning and all this, and everyone will be like, oh my gosh, they're the go-to expert and da-da-da-da. And it's like, no, they're a horrible person. Stay away from them. So that's my personal rule. But the reality is, if you were to go through the steps that are in my book or that I teach, it would work for anyone. Yeah. So first off, I only work with people that deserve it and are morally correct, and they're actually helping people. Because there's people that aren't bad, but they have their product or service, and it's like, it doesn't really get them results, and it's really not a value add. It's just something they created, and it's kind of there, you know what I mean? And other people, it's like I can sense their passion, and they really want to help people, and they really care about it, and it's a different feeling I can sense. But the number one thing is don't downplay what you're doing. There are so many people that have done interviews, have spoke, maybe they have a book, maybe they've done videos, maybe they've done their own thing. And they're like, oh, I'm thinking of someone particular, and she'll laugh, but it took me about 2 or 3 months where she went to college. Never told anyone about it. And I'm like, you graduated freaking Yale. Why? I'm not saying to be arrogant about it, but you're so far from that. You're not even mentioning it. And then we changed some things around, and then about a few days later, she was going into a deal, and they led with that. She didn't lead with that, but they brought it up and were impressed because someone on the board did also, and she landed a 6-figure contract. Not only because of that, but it was an icebreaker that totally was legit. It lined up, and it's like most people, you have this greatness and they shrink it down to be like the rest of the world. And I put a quote in my first book that says, instead of having the world trying to get their attention, why not be so captivating they can't look away?
Mm-hmm.
And 99.5% starts with, I've done some cool things. I'm no better than anyone, but I'm going to showcase it. You know, I felt this was my own doing. I have over 100 customer testimonials on video, and I kept collecting them, but I was never putting them out there. Why? And it has more to do with the psychology. So always be gathering it. Don't be a prick about it. But if you've legitimately done it, you don't need to hide it. Don't hide your light.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm really guilty of that.
Yeah, me too. I was going to say authenticity is, it sounds easy, but it's not. And it's the psychology of it. So Mario was actually the one who got me to write my first book. So I had a chapter book that I was in a book with Dan Kennedy. And Mario says, why don't you have your own book? And so we have our formula that we talk about in the TED Talk, the 10 by 10 by 4. And I did it. And I did what Mario said, and he helped me a little bit. And then I did it, got a videographer. It took me 2 years to release those videos because I was psychology. I didn't think they were good enough. And then I'm just like, I have the book out. Why wouldn't I put the videos out? That's so silly. Like I was supposed to use the videos to promote the book, right? So it was really that psychology behind it.
But you did do it. Why don't you? I think it's an interesting story because I was thinking about that night we were walking to the after party networking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell them how we came up with your title chapters?
Yeah. We were just walking. We were at a marketing conference in San Diego, and afterwards we were just walking in the hallway, and he said, challenged me, why don't you write your own book? And then we really did just get out some paper and started writing down the chapter headings and just answered questions, and he just asked me questions, and we were writing stuff down. It was awesome.
So for anyone that wants to do it, don't overcomplicate it. Literally, we finished speaking at an event, and then we were going to the networking after party, done for the day thing in about 5 or 10 minutes, just walking from one part of the resort to the other. I mean, you can crank stuff that out like that.
If you're in the right mindset. Yeah, I was going to say, I do the same thing. I can relate. I have the title Miss Michigan, and for the longest time, I would never even tell a soul. I'm like, I just don't, I don't want to make any fuss. And then I finally, when I met Jen, I started saying, no, we got to brand ourselves. We need to put that in there. And then I realized I never would say I was first runner up to Miss America. So now I'm like, well, I need to leverage that too. I mean, I just kind of keep it in the closet, but it's like you say, it's like you've earned it. You worked for it. You did it. It's an asset of yours, and you need to put it out there. Let's go through some of those steps in your book, because I just have to say, I read Mario's book every January. It's my kickstart to the new year. I don't know if you know that, but I read it every January. So let's start going through some of those steps.
The expert authority effect.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate it. Hold it up. And very simply, I am not a Rhodes Scholar. I did not go to Yale. I barely got through high school. So I keep everything nice and simple. And I have 7 simple steps. And they're right there. There's attention, authority, associate, advise, actuate, automate, and advertise. So simply put, again, back with the LinkedIn, Facebook, all this other stuff, pick something. You might have the greatest steak in the world. I always use that as an example because I like steaks. Ruth's Chris is awesome, and they have good food. But if they don't advertise, if you don't have eyeballs, if you don't have an audience, if you don't have listeners, you're not going to be able to communicate your message. Mm-hmm. If you don't associate with people, there's not going to be any connection. They might see you, but they'll look at you like a billboard and go, that's nice. You need to connect, and that's where you associate with them. You need to be positioned as the authority, because there's a lot of people that sell the same stuff. If you're not positioned as the authority, why should they listen to you? And the advice you're giving out, and this is the kicker, like I was saying, I only work with certain people. The advice you're giving has to be good. You might look like you're the authority. You might even know how to connect. There's a lot of people who are persuasive and influencers, and I'd argue even better than people who deserve it. A lot of people call them manipulative. But if you have the right advice, they'll know you can actually help them. So when you put those in order, now you have the starting point of, I can actually help this person, and we can take them from from frustration to desire, and give them a real transformation. So that's like prepping them and qualifying them, and they're qualifying you, and it's like, this will work out. But if you can't get them to actuate and take action, nothing's going to happen. And from there, it goes into the marketing of it a little bit, where you want to automate it and you want to advertise, because with the automation, it's saving your time, it's leveraging everything you're doing. And then advertise, which is one of my favorite, because again, there's a lot of people, it goes back to the psychology. They can get the attention, they can be positioned as the authority, they associate, they connect, they advise, they get them to take action, they even automate the process, and they're like, look at me, I got all this cool stuff. But they never go bigger and go, I want to get out in front of 10,000 people versus 1,000. Or if they're at 100, they don't want to get in front of 1,000. And there's people you'd look at, and I know, that have 10,000 or 100,000, and they won't get in front of 1 million.
Yeah.
In every single level, it has to do with the psychology. And I'd say, I'll just leave it and be nice and say it has to do with the psychology. At every level, there's always levels. And if you don't want to push it for whatever reason, there's something holding you back.
Yeah. Yeah. Mindset is the key. Getting that mindset right.
It can stop you. Well, Mario, tell us where we can find you.
MarioFachini.com.
Spell Fachini for us.
F like Frank, ACHINI.
Awesome.
And I have a free resource at Expert Authority Checklist. If you think you're positioned as the expert and authority, I challenge you to take the 21-step challenge. And if you know you're not, well, you can still get it, and it'll tell you what you can improve, like today.
Awesome. We'll put those links up at the bottom. And those of you who are listening, just go to mariofachini.com or expertauthoritychecklist.com.
So I think y'all learned how to get more clients. Basically, work with the ones you have and try and rearrange how much you're charging them if you're going to get them into reoccurring income, along with adding new clients and adjusting your prices and what you need, and look at positioning yourself as the authority in the marketplace, and make sure you have something to back it up, right? So it distinguishes you from everybody else. So remember to subscribe to our podcast. We always have great guests like Mario. We're always teaching you something new, whether it's about your business, about your health, about your family, and we'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking to publish a book, please contact us at eliteonlinepublishing.com. And also don't forget, if you're looking to have a better plan for your life, we have a whole suite of daily planners that you can pick from. Just look under elitedailyplanner.com, or you can go to Amazon and look for Elite Daily Planners. We have a bunch there. It's helped me so much. Actually, we've increased our business just this last couple of months by me using that planner and Jen using the planner. Unbelievable. Helped us really focus and stay organized. So I highly recommend getting our planner, and we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
We'll see you again.
If you'd like to create the most powerful advertising tool for your business, contact us at eliteonlinepublishing.com, where we will help you create, publish, and make your book a #1 bestseller, and show you how to get new leads and more revenue for your business. If you'd like to check us out on our Facebook page, we have a free book for you as our gift. Just go and click Free Book. Remember to subscribe and leave a comment for our podcast. We would love to hear from you.